Oh, shake it out, and then reversing to the sexy looks. But yeah, it was really fun, and we were shooting the Chanel collection, so from Resort, I think.
The cruise collection.
So that was all kind of 80s power woman type things.
And obviously that's a pretty good gig for you. I mean, we always see you kind of front row at the Chanel shows and obviously other shows.
Yeah.
You know, what's life like getting on and off the plane, attending fashion shows?
I don't know, yeah, I mean, for me, all I know is I work really hard most of the day, so I'm doing a lot of TV, so that's kind of playtime. I get to, attend different fashion things, but it's not like the main thing that I do, so it's more like a treat. So yeah, I still never kind of can believe it's real. I think that particular Chanel show was in kept on TV, and it was just so stunning. The whole Eden Rock was just gorgeous. So yeah, it's kind of, I have to pinch myself a lot and not get overwhelmed by the situation.
And you said in your interview with us that living your life was a little bit like an episode of Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Do you have Cheers here?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm Kirstie Alley.
35,000 followers on Twitter. I'm not surprised. But do you find it difficult? I mean, do you think, are you comfortable with people knowing your name when you don't know your name?
I think it's funny because my name's such a weird one. I just find it amusing still that anyone has to say it because it's so clunky. But it makes life really nice because you're like, but also paranoid. So sometimes you're like, oh, that's pleasant, everyone knows who you are. But other times you're like, oh, I'm trying to tell a secret to a friend, and there's someone like taking a picture of you, being like, twit pic, I just saw Alexa slagging off blah 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 in this cafe. You're like, oh god, what did I say? But yeah, it's very strange. But then when I think about it, I started modelling at 16, and yeah, now I'm quite accustomed to there being people looking.
And obviously, I mean, you've been a big part of what I'd call sort of a blogger's revolution, if you like. People watching your style, watching everything you wear every day. Is that difficult? I mean, do you have to really think about what you wear?
I try not to think about it just because it would send me insane. And when at the beginning of that whole thing, it did sort of get to me, and I was like, oh, I need to try and make an effort. But then you realise real life is probably more important. And although I'm obsessed with clothes and I'm obsessed with fashion, I try not to let it dictate what I'm doing every day. And I don't know. I think when I started thinking about it, I started dressing really weird. So then I was like, oh, just wear what's comfortable again. But I do think the whole rise of the blogger is such an interesting phase in modern times, because it's, you know, I grew up in the middle of the countryside. I would have loved to have been more involved in fashion. So I think it's brilliant now that young women get to sort of feel part of the fashion industry, and I think it's really sweet that they're taking pictures of their outfits and then, you know, getting like people like Tavi or Susie Bubble, is that?
Yeah.
I just think it's really cool that they're sort of celebrities now. It's brilliant.
And have you ever found a really odd blog about you?
I try not to look. I sort of nosedived into Googling myself when I first sort of started being written about, because I was like, isn't that weird? They're writing about me. And then I was like, oh, they're just saying very bitchy things. I'll try not to look anymore. So I'm not really sure what's written about me anymore, because it's sort of weird. No human should have to think about themselves that much. It makes you very vain and sort of, paranoid. So now I just try and live.
And you're living in New York now. Can you
Yes.
tell us about your show and what you've got coming up there?
So I'm doing a show for Lifetime over there, which is basically about fashion. It's kind of a fashion reality show. And we've got some amazing people involved, like Derek Blasberg and PR man James LaForce and the designer Cynthia Rowley. So it's sort of a celebration of the fashion industry. But yeah, I moved there like a month ago and started work 2 days afterwards. So currently it's a weird situation. I don't have any furniture in my house. It's fine.
Do you have any food either?
Sometimes there's food there. I allow that in now. It's good.
I actually saw on your Twitter, because Derek obviously writes for Harper's Bazaar as well, that he'd been twittering that he had to move out of his apartment in New York.
Yeah, I got evacuated during the hurricane.
But you made it out just in time?
I did. I nipped out there on the Friday night and changed my flight. So, yeah.
Thank goodness. Otherwise we wouldn't have had a guest.
Bloody Irene. Yeah, she was trying to F with your programme there.
And I also saw on your Twitter that you're a big fan of Triple J and some of that.
Love me some Triple J.
I know.
They were talking about how at primary school, when you have to go, good morning, Mrs. Martin. And I was like, who are these guys? They're funny. yeah, that's the kind of radio I've been listening to in the car.
And are you familiar with the sort of Aussie music scene at all?
I love Tame Impala, are friends of mine. I think they're brilliant. I went to see them at Rough Trade East in London, like a proper groupie, and then was like, do you want to go bowling? And then they're like, I didn't realise you were famous. It's really weird. But they're really good, and Cage the Elephant are really good. Yeah, there's some great Aussie bands. I've pulled a blank now, but yeah.
And fashion, I saw you've been out to dinner with your friends from Lover.
Yes,
You obviously
Susan
wear a
and
bit of
Nick.
Australian fashion.
Yeah, I love Lover's one of my favourite brands anyway. Also Antipodium.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeffrey was one of the first designers to actually lend me clothes because everyone was a bit sniffy at the beginning. Like a TV presenter, probably not. But he was like, yeah, you can borrow that if you want. I was like, thanks, Jeffrey. So he's really good. And then yesterday I discovered a new one called Dion Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to borrow for tomorrow night. But yeah, beautiful designs, really, really nice.
And you said that you'd had a few problems packing coming here. Did you have
so
a shock? What happened?
I may have messed up a bit. Basically, I've been doing this show 5 a.m. till 11 p.m. every day, so I was super exhausted, and then I got up at 4 to pack because I was going straight from work to the airport, and got here at this end being a bit smug about it, like I've got so many clothes with me, don't even worry about it, and then just skirts. Just skirts. Perfect. So I'm either going to be topless or have to buy things. So there's more shopping to be done unless you want to see the show. It's underwhelming. So yeah, I hope you find a jumper somewhere.
So tomorrow night's party for 30 days, which really sort of kicks it all off.
Yeah.
It's in quite an extraordinary property in Sydney Harbour. It's Swift's castle, pretty much. What are you all going to be DJing? Can you give us any sort of
Yes.
hint on what you'll be?
I'm a very selfish DJ. I don't take requests, I'm afraid. So either you like the 60s or you don't. Hopefully you do. But yeah, I kind of like Shangri-La's and the Shirelles, Ronettes. Those like super poppy heartbreak songs where you're like, this is really fun, and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, you don't own me. That's a bit depressing. So yeah, some of the more 60s vibes, I think. I sometimes extend it to the 90s, but I give the 80s a wide berth in general. Music and fashion, I just can't deal with that decade. Yeah.
No requests.
0 requests. If they happen, I'll come after you.
So has anybody got any questions for Alexa? Or any of our girls?
No? Cool.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
Good to go.
I'm actually Renee.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Sydney. I'm just wondering how you would describe the tag, the It Girl, and how you feel about it.
I think when I first started and was called It Girl, I was a bit confused about what it meant, because to me in England at the time it was kind of the daughters of rich patriarchs that were just sort of freeloading a bit. So I was uncomfortable with it because I knew how hard I was working. But then when you look traditionally at that term, it's sort of came about by the 60s, and people like Baby Jane Holzer and Jean Shrimpton, the Shrimp. And if I'm in that category of person, then obviously I think it's wonderful. So yeah, I've kind of embraced it now. I think it's a very nice compliment. But it implies it's a moment in time. This year's girl, like the Elvis Costello song. So it gives you a certain shelf life if you're it, because you're the girl of the moment, and moments pass. But I'm willing to enjoy it while it's happening, and then I can be an old lady and be like, I used to matter sometimes, and my kids will be like, no you didn't. Throw the clothes away, Mum, I don't want to wear them. Like, I hoarded all of this stuff for you. Yeah.
Are you able to describe the haircut and colour style that you asked for from your hairstylist?
Yes, I asked them to make my hair look thicker and lighter. That's about it, really. No, I can unravel the secret. Basically, I've got massive ears and really thin hair, so the only thing that can cover those two things up is to have a shaggy bob. That's about it. If I had thick, luscious hair, I'd have it long and nice, but yeah, my face, I don't know. I'll try not to be too self-deprecating, actually. It always comes across weird. I don't know, man. I guess Mick Jagger, Brian Jones. All my heroes are men. They're my hair heroes. So if you ask for a Mick Jagger circa 76, maybe it'll turn out like this. I don't know.
And what are your top 5 beauty products that you use?
Beauty products. Paw cream, which I'm planning on stocking up on while I'm here actually, is my like favourite beauty product, I think. And then I'm an avid fan of moisturising. I think I'm addicted to it actually. So I think there's that brand Weleda. They have kind of the baby moisturiser that I like slather onto my face morning, noon and night. And then I really like Chanel for kind of the black liquid line. And then the lip thing is I mix things together. So MAC, I've got this new one called Vegas Volt, which then I add some kind of pale concealer to make a salmon colour. I want my lips to look like salmon. Nice, huh? Fishy mouth. And is that 5? I can't count. 4.
What about nails?
Nails. I don't know. Essie, I guess, is a good brand, or OPI. I like coral. I'm sort of addicted to that salmon-y coral scene. Yeah.
What are on your nails today?
Today in LA, there's a place called CT Nails. And it's this Vietnamese dude called Peter Shaw, and he creates designs for me. Yeah. So he does these really cheesy airbrush scapes. And then I pick elements, drive them crazy, and I'm like, no, but just the daisies from number 1 with the background from 4, and then I'll direct these nails, and everyone in the salon's like, really bored of me, but whatever. He says he's going to make me a dinosaur stencil, so I'm very happy about that. I'm a 5-year-old child, apparently.
Alexa sounds an interesting name. Could you tell us more about your ethnicity?
Sorry?
Could you tell us more about your ethnicity?
Ethnicity, yes. So my father is 3/4 Chinese. His mum was half Chinese, half Welsh, and then his dad's Chinese, and then my mother's English as they come. So yeah, I'm a mix of those things.
Do you speak any other languages other than English?
A little bit of French, but not really, and embarrassingly kind of inept at speaking other languages. That's about it, yeah. No Chinese, I'm afraid. Greedy with the question.
Just simply, if you've had a chance to look at the Australian designers in a short time, just how they, I know you did mention, but just how you see the difference in English designers?
Yeah, I think Aussie fashion is, maybe I've seen in the limited kind of shops I've been to so far, but it's all a bit sexier maybe. Yeah. And I guess that's just a weather situation, also the fact that everyone over here is just so healthy and sporty and nice. So yeah, a lot of kind of cutout shapes. There's an unexpected cutout around the back or something. But yeah, as I say, Dion Lee was a pleasant surprise for me. And then Lover, Zimmerman, I really like as well. I got some amazing shoes from them. But yeah, you tend to play more with print and cutout shapes, yeah.
So we'll just take one more.
Hi Alexa, I'm just wondering what are your 5 all-time favourite things in your wardrobe?
I'm sure everyone's very bored of my 5 all-time favourites because I wear them so regularly, but a Chanel bag, get that in. Some vintage jean shorts, which now actually have a hole in the arse because I've worn them that often, but it's more like often I have to wear something that I don't particularly like, so I put it with my favourite jean shorts so that I feel like me. A schoolboy loafer situation, a penny loafer, and then I'm trying to think of faves at the moment. I don't really know. I've got an imaginary favourite, which is a silver dress that I want, but I can't find it. But if there was a silver mini dress, that would be my favourite thing. And a Burberry trench coat. I wear that most days, Burberry trench.
Thank you very much, ladies, and thank you, Alexa, and also Sarah and Heidi. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and thank you to everybody who joined us here at the press conference, and particularly our ACP magazine editors who